Okay, we're going to get into today's new Zoom then, and the information about, we're going to give you a lot of information about CoolSculpting and CoolTone. I am joined by our amazing estheticians, Amber and Brea. They are our CoolSculpting University trained providers. Amber has actually been to the master's program at CoolSculpting University, and Brea will probably soon be asked to attend that as well. So they're very experienced, which is super important. Our Advanced BodySculpting Center has not one, but two CoolSculpting ELITE machines, which is the most advanced technology. We have the CoolTone device, and we're really known for our midsection makeovers. I think these are little techniques that these ladies have been perfecting, and that's the thing that really makes us excited, but we treat a lot of different areas that we're going to get into. So in order to kind of give you the best information, our brilliant marketing director back there, Allison, had an idea of just, when you Google things, if you want to get information, what do we all do? We just Google it. We Google. So you're going to Google it, and it auto fills in, kind of what it thinks you're going to say. So we kind of got the most common things that come up on Google when you're searching things about CoolSculpting and CoolTone. So we're going to start with CoolSculpting, and Allison made these adorable little charts here. And Amber's going to do the first one, so.
All right, so our first one says, does CoolSculpting work?
Yep.
So yes, CoolSculpting works. Absolutely. Personally, I can tell you it works. I've treated lots of areas on myself with amazing results. Each time you treat, you lose about 20 to 25% in the treated area. So we typically do about 2 rounds of treatment to get you that good 40 to 50% reduction. Like Dr. Gray was saying, we do specialize in that midsection makeover. So we just have everyone come in, you do a consult, and then we decide what's going to be the best option for you.
Yeah, and I think the important thing too with that is, does it work? Yes, but you do have to be the right candidate.
Yes,
and that's where I think the consults are super important too, because not everyone is a candidate for CoolSculpting, and that's why it is important to go to a place that has a lot of experience and can kind of make sure that you would get the results that you're looking for too.
All right, next. Are CoolSculpting results permanent? So yes, they are permanent. So fat cells in general, you're kind of born with a certain number of fat cells. They either get bigger or smaller depending on your diet, your lifestyle, your exercise. So when you do CoolSculpting, you go in, you remove 20 to 25% of those fat cells each time you retreat. So those fat cells are permanently gone from the body. You do continue to have fat cells that are in that area that will get bigger and smaller depending on your diet and lifestyle, but you just find you don't gain weight the same way in those areas because you have less fat cells.
I feel like your shapes change.
Yes,
like,
shape.
Yeah,
100% changes.
I've done it too, and I think what I've noticed. So I did my first CoolSculpting. When did we get the first machine? I don't remember. 2015,
14, 15, somewhere around there.
So, and since then, so that was with the original CoolSculpting device, and now the new CoolSculpting ELITE, I did it again, and I do find that I will gain and lose weight, but like you were saying, I think the shape, my shape different. Changes. So like it's for me and my whole family, we have like skinny arms and skinny legs, but we hold everything in our belly, and I think that is the difference, where instead of gaining weight kind of like this, it looks more like this. So I think that's really nice, just to be able to permanently change your shape. I also think, because it is permanent, that is where experience matters. Like you guys are so, like I've watched them, and actually last year we even did a live consult, and they're so, I think, meticulous about where things are placed, and because you do have to put them in the applicators in a certain area to get the best results too.
You really have to pay attention to like the person's body type going into the situation, where their curves are to begin with, because CoolSculpting does work. So you can create curves where they're not supposed to be if you're not paying attention. Men are really wanting, that V shape, whereas women were wanting that nice hourglassy curve. So you have to pay attention to those, and that's really what we focus on during our consult. All right. How many sessions of CoolSculpting? So most people are 2 rounds of treatment. There are those additional people that may need that 3rd round. Kind of depends on how you are going into the situation to begin with. But I would say the norm is 2 rounds of treatment, and that gets you that good 40 to 50% reduction.
Yeah, typically we'll wait about 8
weeks or so.
Maybe 12, depending. between the sessions too.
Yeah, you start seeing results at about 4 weeks. So usually kind of that sweet spot is about 8 weeks or so, because we'll be able to see what's happening, make sure that our placement of our applicators don't need to change. We don't need to change our plan up, anything like that. Does CoolSculpting work on belly fat? 100%.
That's probably, do y'all think
The
that's
most common area.
Most common
That's
area.
the thing most people ask about, I think. And again, I think that's how we started focusing on midsection, don't y'all think? Like, because of the belly fat. So, but it does have to be the right type of fat.
Yes.
Correct.
Yes, 2 different types of fat that you can have. So there's visceral, subcutaneous fat. So we like that nice squishy fat that's on the front. If you think about visceral fat, that's going to be those men that we like to call the beer bellies, where they're like rock hard, and it does not treat any of that visceral fat.
Right, and visceral fat's kind of fat that's under that muscle. So if it's really taut like a drum, but you still have fat, unfortunately it's visceral fat. And that's the one that's actually unhealthy too, and can be a little bit dangerous. So that's where you really do need to lose weight. And again, this is where the consults come in, and I think are super, super important. But if you can pinch it, more than likely you can treat it. You know, there has to be enough fat, so if you're super, super lean, it might just be lax skin and it really won't help with that. But if it's fat, yeah.
Is CoolSculpting worth it? I personally think it's worth it. I mean, I've treated multiple areas myself and absolutely love my results. I was always that person that carried my weight, kind of my lower half, never liked my legs, never liked the way they looked in shorts. And I've completely changed the shape of my legs now. So 100% it's worth it for me. I think it's person to person thing.
Yeah.
What do you think, Brea? Have you liked your areas that you've treated?
I love every area that I've treated. It's non-invasive, which I like, so I can treat on my lunch break and then go back to work.
It is quick. And I think the big thing is, it's for anything you're going to do that's aesthetic or cosmetic, is it worth it? I think, again, those are those things that what's going to make you feel better, what's going to make you feel more confident. Like, for personally, for me, it was one of those things where I think it's how I felt in the clothes. Like for me, again, I told you all I had it in my belly. And so like just wearing jeans or something, I would feel that extra muffin top roll, that it just drove me personally crazy. I just did not like it. And I don't think like anyone else looking at me probably could tell a difference, but I could feel the difference. And so it made me feel better. It made me feel more confident. And I always tell patients, whether you're doing CoolSculpting or Botox or fillers or whatever it is, you do have to find that value in it for yourself. And if it's going to make you feel better, again, more confident, then do it. But if it doesn't, and it doesn't feel like it has worth to you, don't do it. That's also where, again, the consults are important too, because you want to see what you can treat and what you could realistically expect from a treatment.
My favorite thing is I have patients come in after they've done CoolSculpting and they say, I've hated this area my whole entire life, and now it feels completely different, which is so rewarding, I think, as a provider. And then the patient is so excited about it as well.
And actually, patients, and I know y'all have had this, where when they see their results, they actually start to lose weight and eat healthier.
100%.
Right? Don't y'all see that?
They get very motivated.
Yeah, because all of a sudden you're like, oh my gosh, and it's just like, I've seen some people just really, where they just said, I gave up sodas, I changed the way I eat, I'm eating healthier, I've lost 10 additional pounds.
Yeah.
They look better. So a lot of times it's interesting with those before and after pictures, there's not a weight change, but subsequently, even after that, a lot of people will go on to lose weight just because they feel good, they feel confident, and they treat themselves healthier.
How long to see the results with CoolSculpting? So CoolSculpting results start at about 4 weeks, but it takes a full 12 weeks for you to see your final result from the round. So that's why sweet spot usually for doing that second round of treatment is 8 to 10 weeks or so, and then from there you'll see your full final results of everything in 12 weeks.
Some people, I think, even longer. I mean, sometimes, so it is one of those things that we watch, but I would say on average, that's probably right. And on average, what do you think, like 4 weeks?
4 weeks, I start to see it.
Like,
I mean, even some people beforehand. I would say outer thighs have been one of the areas for me that I feel like it's taking a little bit longer for them to see the results. So sometimes it's 5 months or so. But then you have that person that comes back around and it's like 3 weeks and they're like, oh, I'm noticing something. I think you were one of those people too. At like 3 weeks,
it was
felt.
quicker. Yeah. On the second one, when I did the Elite, for sure. All right, and then Brea, you're
For
gonna...
you.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Can CoolSculpting tighten skin? So,
No.
I wish.
That'd be
Something
awesome.
that a lot of people ask about, because sometimes it is, especially if you have babies, and
Yeah.
you know, so you have the extra fat and that laxity. So unfortunately, the laxity does remain, and again, that's something that they'll go over with you with consults about what can happen. But unfortunately, no. Sorry. Use your nails, Brea.
I know I am.
There you go. That one started coming.
Okay, can CoolSculpting remove visceral fat? I think we just talked about this too. No, it cannot. Diet and exercise would be the best way
Yeah.
for visceral fat.
Sadly, yeah.
Only
The
way
hard-
for that
the hard
visceral
stuff.
fat.
Yeah.
I like to tell everyone it's a joint effort if there's visceral fat involved.
Can CoolSculpting hurt? I think this is dependent on the person too. It's a little uncomfortable in the beginning, about
Yeah.
first 10 minutes.
Cold though.
Intense
It's not
cold
not
sensation.
Pain, not like
yeah.
pain, but it's very cold.
Feels like a cold burn to me,
Yeah.
almost like
Yeah.
you were standing barefoot on ice, kind of that cold burn sensation that you get.
And
don't
that's
you think
for
most-
about 10 minutes.
That's what
of
most
the
patients,
treatment.
right? Most
Yeah.
of your patients are saying about 10.
Yeah, after that, the area
It's
just goes
numb.
numb,
Yeah.
then you don't feel anything for the rest of the treatment. The very end of the treatment is the 2-minute massage, and I think that varies from person to person as to whether or not it's uncomfortable for them, but everybody gets through it, and it's the most important part of the procedure.
Yeah.
I fell asleep, so.
We have
Not that
videos of this. I've had people working, so it really is not too bad.
Okay. Can CoolSculpting get rid of cellulite? I think it can help the appearance of cellulite, but not get rid of it.
It's not going to get rid
Yeah,
of it,
no.
unfortunately. So another one is sad nose, which we wish, but no.
Yeah. Can CoolSculpting work on arms? Absolutely.
Yeah, it's actually FDA approved for 9 different areas, so it can do, let's see, your arms, your-
Chin to knees.
yeah,
Chin to knees.
There's a little, but they call it the banana
Banana
roll.
Banana roll
So-
underneath the bottom of the butt.
Buttocks.
Yes.
Yep, thighs, arms. So yeah, a lot of different areas.
Arms have actually been like one of my favorite areas that I've treated on myself personally, and just like results that I'm seeing with patients, because it literally looks like somebody just comes in there and just takes off that little hang down, you know, the part that still
Yeah.
waves when you stop waving.
Yeah, that we all have. Can CoolSculpting be done at home? No.
Like, I don't know why someone would Google that, but yeah, unfortunately, no, they don't sell devices at home, and you
No.
don't use ice from your freezer.
Yes.
This is very controlled as far as how cold they're getting the skin, and how the device works. There's a lot of technology that goes into it, so no, it cannot be
Yeah,
done.
we have measurements that we take, things that are put on the skin before we do the procedure that really helps protect the integrity of your skin, because the machines do get very cold.
Yeah. So we're going to kind of switch gears a little bit and go on and talk about CoolTone. And we've got some things about that. And I should mention too, you know, going back to the question about is it worth it, we do now offer, which we just started doing, financing with CoolSculpting and CoolTone, which is great, because that really, I think, gives you another option too, and kind of, again, makes those situations where, you know, does that have value to you a little bit easier, where you have options of how you want to, you know, or if you want to finance it. All right, so.
All right, CoolTone now.
You do it perfectly.
You're good at it.
How does CoolTone work? So CoolTone is electromagnetic muscle stimulation. So it's contracting the muscles and then releasing the muscles, to where every time you do a treatment, say you're doing your abdomen, it's like you're doing 20,000 sit-ups in the area. And then tapping in between the contractions, which helps tap out your lactic acid so that you're not sore after the treatment.
Yeah, it's crazy because you definitely feel
Yes.
it.
Feel it.
I think we've all done it,
100%.
and it's just like it's a it doesn't hurt, but it's just you can tell the muscles are flexing.
Yes. It's an intense feeling for sure. Yeah. How many sessions? So CoolTone we do in a session of 6 treatments. We do them twice a week for 3 weeks to get your results. And then we also have maintenance treatments that you do. And I think the maintenance really depends on the person and how they work out and things like that as to how frequently those maintenance treatments will be done.
Yeah, I think most commonly, I like to do it monthly personally, I guess I'll just say, because, and a lot of times it's more how you feel. I think that's the big thing a lot of people notice too. You know, obviously abs again are probably the most common thing that we treat. Yeah. But one thing is, like, if you've never in your life had a ripped six-pack, CoolTone's not going to give you that. What it is going to do, it's going to provide some definition. If the laxity of the muscle is making you look a little bit bigger in the abdominal area, you will look a little bit tighter. But I notice, like, even just like sitting in a chair or how you hold yourself, and I do like to work out, so just even doing some of my ab exercises, I notice
your core is a lot stronger.
Yeah, you can feel it, right?
I had a patient personally. She was like teetering on the line of having to do some surgical interventions with some patients, and she could not lift her leg up and really hold it for an extended period of time. So she went through CoolTone series. She just messaged me the other day. She's like, I'm doing things that I haven't been able to do in years with my abdominal muscles. So that's really awesome.
Fun. Yeah.
Side effects of CoolTone. Do you have any side effects with CoolTone? I don't really get it. Yes, a little bit of soreness.
Yeah. That's about it.
Yeah, some people have it, some people don't. Typically, I've noticed if you're going to get some soreness, it's usually right up at the very top because it's not really a muscle that we work out a lot. But other than that, people fly through it, no discomfort whatsoever.
Yeah.
CoolTone contraindications.
So you can't have anything magnetic in your body.
Nothing magnetic, nothing
if you set off the detector in the airport, you can't do it. So that's kind of our biggest one.
Yeah.
Just because of it is a magnet.
CoolTone results, are they permanent? So no, it's just going to be like going to the gym and working out. If for some reason you were to stop doing CoolTone treatments whatsoever, you just go back to what your abdomen looked like without any of them. For you, Brea.
Okay, let's try this again. Can CoolTone be used on arms? Unfortunately, it cannot. You can use thighs, buttocks, and abs.
So just the 3 areas. But you can, and actually we should say the sessions are only 30 minutes. So, you know, and again, in a time that you would do a normal gym workout, you can just be done.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And it can be done over clothes too, so you don't have to get on a dress. So that's as long as, again, you don't have anything metal, you just put it on, like I could do it in this dress very easily. They can do it in their scrubs.
Can CoolTone make you sore? Just like doing any other workout, may have some mild soreness, but
I don't get it every time. And like, if I do get it, it's just that, like, you know, that soreness you get when you go, oh yeah, I had a little bit of a workout, but it's not bad.
No, it's not bad at all. Can CoolTone make you stronger? You do feel stronger. It does, absolutely.
Yeah, it actually does increase. That's one thing it definitely does, is increase muscle strength. And again, so strength is one thing, and then the looks are another thing too. And again, I think that's where the consults are so important, because you know, to kind of evaluating what you want to see and what the CoolTone can do for you, that's why you do the consult. A lot of people will need to do a little bit of CoolSculpting first before the CoolTone, so they'll go over that with you at the consult.
Can CoolTone cause weight loss? No.
That's people are ruling that too. But
just working on the muscles.
Muscles, yeah. Can CoolTone be done instead of CoolSculpting? It can be done instead of CoolSculpting.
Yeah, they'll do different things. I think it just depends on what you need to. So
we need to trim down
I like to say if there's any fluff on the front first,
Yeah.
you got to get rid of the fluff before you do CoolTone, because with CoolTone you'll feel the strength, but if there's any fat on the front, you're not going to visually see it. So you want to get rid of any of that fat first, so then you can come back in with CoolTone and then really visually see the muscle definition.
Yeah, and I think again, if you've never had a six-pack in your life before, like that's me. I've never had. Even when I was an athlete and I was, you know, in my early 20s, I just don't have that body type. But I do feel like I definitely do see more definition, and I just feel a lot stronger. And also, it's for men too. So my husband started doing it, and one of the things he was having problem with is is like back issues, because we're of a certain age. And it was interesting because what he noticed and what he said was like, I feel like because his core is stronger, he's supporting his back better, and he's not having as many issues. Again, that was his experience, but everybody's different. Again, you can just come and get your consults. Our advanced body sculpting consults are very thorough. We actually even have a little treat or a little gift for you when you come in, just something, our way of saying thank you for thinking of yourself, because again, I think these are things where, you know, sometimes it's hard to treat ourselves and to do things that we really want, and so we're like rewarding you for even just exploring this option. And I think you look at these consults as more of an opportunity to get educated. So we really, we're doing these noon Zooms because we love to teach and we love to educate, and that's really what the consults are. They're not scary or intimidating. Actually, Allison was talking about her consult. What did you say yesterday when you were talking to me? You said it was
cathartic.
It was cathartic. She said it was cathartic because she was like, what you said, you're exposing your belly to a stranger basically, and you realize it's not bad, and that there was something you could do about it. So it's not a scary thing to do to a consult. I think you'll get a ton of information, find out exactly what could work for you, make sure you are a good candidate. So I encourage you to schedule a consult.